Hey everybody, welcome to the Reactors League podcast, episode number 5. I am, of course, Chainsaw Reacts, the host, and with me today is Laurel from the Reactors League. What is up?
Oh, nothing much.
Just,
Just
just alive, breathing.
yeah, yeah, breathing.
Well, I'm so happy that we can do this now because this is going to be uploaded the day after the release of the RWBY Volume 4 finale, but we're going to talk about the RWBY Volume 4 finale. Spoilers. If you've not seen it, you have no idea what we're talking about, just skip ahead to Guardians 2 and you'll be fine. But we have to talk about this. So I have to ask, what are your overall impressions? Spoiler away, RWBY Volume 4 finale. What was your overall impressions?
I thought it was a fantastic finale. That the season um all around was kind of iffy for me just because they had to pick up from such a, awful place at the end of last volume. But the finale was really strong. Um all the characters got wonderful tie-ins. It's hard to find words.
It was different because Volume 3 finale was so emotional and very heartbreaking. And we had a major character death. And then it's like the Volume 4 finale, we had a big boss battle, but we also got this really kind of just slow paced letter that RWBY was writing. And we saw shots of the different characters and we were seeing where they're heading. And it's just like, holy crap, like, okay, this is how they're going to end it. They're not going to end it on this big high note. They're going to kind of just slowly ease us out of Volume 4 and not give us some big cliffhanger, which is interesting, I would have to say.
Yeah, it's different, but it's kind of relief at the same time because I was absolutely destroyed after last year's finale.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Oh, yeah. Damn it, Hira. God damn it. It still gets me. I'm so glad I recorded my reaction to the last 2 episodes of Volume 3 because it was getting so crazy. I'm like, what are they doing? Like, what is happening? Because I was binging the show. So I didn't have this experience where I was watching Volume 1, then I had to wait, and then Volume 2, wait, Volume 3, wait. I was binging all of it literally a week before Volume 4 aired. Uh,
oh wow.
yeah, a lot of emotions. And just seeing everything just get destroyed. And there was actually an interview that was really interesting. Is that an interview done by Miles and Carrie, and I think it was at a panel, and they were mentioning how they couldn't wait until the Volume 3 finale because they really wanted to do stories after the fall of Beacon. Like they wanted to get away from the school, which makes sense because they were kind of in a bubble and they rarely went out of there. But yeah, I would have to say with your same sentiments. I mean, I enjoyed Volume 4, but it's really different than the past 3 because you're not all the girls are not together. The stories are so separated. Um, it was really different, like a reboot, if you will, like a soft reboot.
Yeah.
Um, what was your favorite storyline then throughout the Volume 4? Whose storyline was your personal favorite?
Uh I feel like it's gonna be so cheesy, but I've got to say Ren.
Oh yeah, yeah, he had a really emotional arc too towards
Yes,
the
he
end.
did. I
Like like with Nora, like oh come on, like
Oh my
really,
gosh, Ren and Nora.
yeah, the shipping people of Ren and Nora probably died during those moments.
Oh, well, I know I did.
Oh, okay, are you a shipper of them?
Oh yes.
Wait, in your reaction, because I haven't seen it yet because we're pre-recording this, but I'm assuming you probably freaked out when they held hands
Oh
at the.
yeah.
Oh, okay. So, that's funny. But it
I
makes.
may I may have drawn some fan art as well.
Oh,
Um,
you went deep with this. Okay.
oh yeah.
Uh, um. Okay, so in that sense, which one was your least favorite of the storylines?
Oh,
Putting you on the spot.
oh yeah. Um, I don't know. It's kind of tied between Blake and Yang. And I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that because everyone loves Yang. But I mean, it was good to see her get back on her feet and everything. But it was just a little lacking in motion and uh, real characterization, I think. Um, Blake also kind of disappointed me just because she just seemed to be going through this angsty emo teenager phase that basically everyone in the fandom and even the characters in the show just wanted her to snap out of.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, her character has always been kind of like that, but she's
Yeah.
more quiet. But I agree. I personally think that my least favorite, not because I think it's bad, it was just the Yang story, because it took too long, in my personal opinion, because we covered a lot of time with these 12 episodes, and it took her all that time. And for like the first 4 or 5, we didn't even see her. So it was like, okay, so what are we doing, Yang, exactly? And I like how they ended it with her finally going to find RWBY, but I mean, it was just a lot of her moping around for a bit, and then her like, what, do I want the arm? Do I not want the arm? And then she's training a while, and it's just like Yang was like probably she was the strongest fighter of Team RWBY, like in terms of strength. And you're telling me that it's taken her that much time to build that back up. I mean, I just think that she'd be stronger than that after a while. I get it at first, but after a while, you would think she would build up and get out sooner.
Yeah, I really expected more from her. Like, I know she came from a place of like deep post traumatic stress disorder and depression from what was really something really horrible. But yeah, it should not have taken her that long, not with her strength of character.
No, and I think that with her finally going to find RWBY, I think that's an interesting direction, because I really thought they were going to send her to her mother, which that may still happen. Her mom might find her instead, which that'd be interesting, because I speculated, well, if the episode's like 28 minutes long, which it was, what if she goes and finds her mom first, and then she shows up at the end and finds RWBY? But apparently that I was pushed, like I was thinking like everything's going to be going way fast, but not the direction they were going. It made sense that they just slowly built her up leaving, and her new outfit's dope though.
Oh
Like,
yeah. All the new costumes are amazing.
RTX this year is going to have a bunch of new cosplay because of that and the new outfits. Yeah. So I got to ask, what was your personal favorite episode of this volume, if you had to pick?
Oh, part of me just wants to cop out and say the finale just because that
It was really
fight was amazing. Ren and Nora was amazing. And the letter Ruby wrote, it just really reminded me of Samwise's speech in the second Lord of the Rings movie,
mm-hmm.
where he's talking to Frodo about how bad things happen, but you just have to get up and go on. You've got to be the hero in the story, no matter what. And that was like really hard hitting for me. Like I cried because I've always loved that kind of speech and just hear it on my favorite show because
Yeah.
RWBY is my favorite show. It it was amazing. But other than the finale, I'd probably have to say that even though it really hurt, episode 2, Remembrance. Oh,
Jean. Ugh.
oh my gosh.
But it made sense
It did.
because he finally realized, damn it, all that time I was ignoring her. And apparently that was planned. Like I was shocked because I've been like watching more panels, even past panels, like years ago panels from RWBY, just hearing them talk about the show, and they had this planned out. Like Pyrrha was going to die. They knew it. They knew it before they even shown episode 1 of volume 1.
Yeah.
They already knew Pyrrha was going to die. Like that's brutal. Like damn, you had that planned. You knew how we were going to fall in love with her character and feel bad for her because Jean doesn't pay attention to her, and she's going to die in an epic way. She's going to fight Cinder to the death, and it's going to be an epic battle building up. But seriously, like Why couldn't Ruby show up like 2 seconds before and save her?
I know, just perfect timing for her to land and see Pyrrha's shot.
Well, then I guess that would be the way to trigger her silver eyes,
Yeah.
which is really cool because they did not explain it when it happened. Like what? You had to wait till after with the crow talk. Like, oh, silver-eyed warriors. Ooh.
And
Um,
even then, some people didn't get it. They're like, okay, so is she like the Winter Maiden or something? What's going on here? But
she's a god.
they,
That's what she is.
yeah, she's just, there are so many new mythologies they're introducing into the show, which is really cool.
Speaking of mythologies, that whole reveal at the you saw the after credit scene, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you're telling me that Crow knows that Ozpin does this? He just transfers his soul to another body and intertwines with that soul? Like, what?
Me and my friends were losing it. We're like, how many times has Ozpin done this that this is just so normal for Crow?
Yeah, my question is like Ozpin was like pretty old. Like the body he was in was old, like with Crow's age, like older-ish. And so that means that like I wonder if Ozpin has a way to maybe transfer his soul back to his body if they find it, because that was my theory that Oscar was on his way to this school because maybe there's a way for him to transfer his soul back into his body because we never saw his body. We don't know what happened when he fought Cinder. We just know that Cinder won in quotes. We don't know what really happened because
Yeah.
it's never been said. So I'm thinking, well, maybe he can transfer soul back to his body and we can have Oscar along with the ride and Osmond. Like, I don't know. It's just
So, did you see the Oscar's name in the credits? His full name?
I did not. What did it say?
Oscar Pine. Conveniently able to be shortened to Ozpin.
Hmm. So just well, because that would feel kind of cruel if like if there's a way Ozpin can kind of morph Oscar's body into looking Ozpin, like back to what Ozpin looks like. That'd be kind of cruel for Oscar because we've kind of been following him. But if they did that, that'd be a whole new thing. Like now he could transform a body he's intertwined with into himself again. What? Like that'd be a little too far fetched. But
Yeah,
or maybe Oscar's just gonna become the new Ozpin. I don't know. Like
maybe.
just
It,
like, hey, I'm Oscar Penn. I'm Oscar Penn. Yeah, that's it. Oscar Penn.
Oscar Pin.
You want this cane back? Hey, I'm gonna teach you the ways, Ruby. What? Like you're a little kid, I know. Um, I have this. Did you like the whole angle of them making Crow injured due to Tyrion's scorpion tail and the fact that he was just really injured for a long time? Did you like they did that to add more peril, or did you think that it was just dragging it along just because they just wanted to do something?
I think it was a necessity in how the show was progressing, just to show how much Ruby herself was growing and to show how vulnerable everyone is. Um, it definitely was like a personal pain for me because Crow is hands down my favorite character.
Really?
Um, oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I've loved him since the second he showed up in like Volume 3, Episode 2, I think it was.
Was he
Um,
drunk?
yeah, he was drinking.
Yes, of course he is.
He's
And he
always drunk.
and he fought Winter, which was really awesome. Like
Yes.
that fight scene was pretty badass.
I'm excited to see the return of Winter.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, well, we'll get into some speculation.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, speaking about Winter, Weiss's story, I think, was really intriguing to me because we heard the stories about her dad, and we knew how bad he was just by how she talked about him and how she kind of just referred to him. But just to see how he treats her, it's just terrible. Like I didn't think I kept saying I don't want her to kill her dad. That's a little too far. Like that's villain territory. But I want her to kick the crap out of him to knock him down a few pegs, and then she can leave. Like that's what I wanted. Because when he slapped her, I was like, no, 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 no. You can't slap her. No.
Yeah, that was the moment I was just like, "You bastard." Like, I know you're already a horrible person,
Yeah,
You've exhibited that amazingly, but just,
too far.
yeah, crossing that physical line of abuse. Ah,
The one thing I will applaud him for is he forced her to sing, which gave us a little scene of her singing, which was beautiful. I'll give you that. She didn't want to sing it, obviously, because he forced her to at that party or whatever. But it was nice to see Weiss sing. I'm like, whoa, okay, she got talent. She could have her own singing career. Forget about this whole Hunter crap. Like, forget this crap. I'm gonna go sing. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do.
yeah, it was definitely a treat to hear Casey Williams' voice again. Um, and the song itself, like, just showed how much Weiss did not want to sing because the lyrics were basically just a big screw you to her dad.
Yeah, people pointed that out after the fact, and I was like, oh, and I went back and listened to it, like, oh, because at first I was just enjoying the fact that it was just beautiful singing. I'm like, wow, uh, I totally missed out. Like, damn, I'm an idiot. But yeah, so I guess my question is, did you ever at any point during Volume 4 think at some point in Volume 4 all the girls are going to get back together, original Team RWBY? Or do you think it was just like, okay, we're just going to be separate for the whole volume, and that will happen eventually, just not now?
Um, Before the volume started, I thought that this volume would definitely focus on the four different storylines, that they wouldn't reunite. Um, then after it started, I thought maybe they might reunite by the finale, just by how quickly their character arcs seemed to be going. But then I realized no, they're gonna wait till volume 5 probably.
At least I hope that it's Volume 5, because
Oh yeah.
that shot at the end of the intro where they're all four standing looking up at the RWBY logo, I'm like, give me that. I want that. Like, it would have been badass if somehow all the rest of the three of them, when RWBY and the Team Ranger were fighting that whatever the hell that creature. People keep pointing out what that creature's name is. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's the
I think it's the Knucklevi.
it's the scary motherfucker. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
And, and I was like, would it have been awesome if Yang shows up with her metal arm and punches it in the face, and then Blake shows up and like does some crazy shit, and then Weiss shows up and uses that knife that she spawns and like freaking attacks him. Like, oh my god, that'd have been too much for me. I would have died. I would have fell out of my chair if that would have happened.
Oh yeah.
Now, the moment I have to ask is it black screens for a few seconds. There was a moment where Nora jumps in as soon as the second arm from that creature is going to come in at Ren, and it black screens. Did you think it killed Nora? Because when she jumped in that split second, then a black screen for like 10 seconds at least. I'm like, holy, did they just kill Nora?
I was floored. I was terrified. Death flags were waving for Ren and Nora ever since they brought up the whole backstory thing. And also since they started showing more of their relationship, because the last time they showed that much of a relationship, one of them died.
Yeah.
So, death flags were definitely flying, and I was so terrified that it was her. I like had to almost like close my eyes for a minute because I couldn't take it. But then thank thank God
It
that
was,
she
it was,
didn't.
it was her hammer.
Yeah.
So wait, so do you think that now that's setting up for a future death between one of them in the future because that they're exploring their relationship a little bit more?
I don't know. Like I know Miles and Carrie are a couple of pretty cruel writers. Um,
This
they
is true.
definitely like to play with the fandom's emotion. Um, but I don't know. I definitely thought it during this volume, but after the finale, I'm thinking that they might be like the pair to live, to survive.
They're the one happy couple
Yeah,
out of everything else being destroyed.
at
Yes.
least for a while.
Let's hope for the entirety, because I don't want to see this go wrong. Like,
Yeah, no.
I would rather them break up or not be together due to themselves and not because one of them dies.
Oh yeah. And if one of them dies, it'd just be horrible to just see how the other one is without them, because they're like yin and yang, basically.
Yeah, because I mean, if Nora dies, Ren lost the one person he connected with after both his parents were killed. Because he almost turned into Batman, but he
Yeah.
did because he found Nora. But if Ren dies, then Nora loses the one person that helped her be brave during this terrible situation, and someone that I think she's been in love with him ever since. I think.
Oh
And
yeah.
they're kind of slowly introducing that, like, oh, okay, I get it. But yeah, that was a brutal boss fight. Like, I didn't know how they were gonna kill it. Like because we've never seen anything like that before. Like it was such a unique villain
Hmm.
boss.
I mean, it was like terrifying and at the same time just really strange. Like everyone was talking about how it was like the crazy wavy inflatable arm monster. But there were like several moments during that fight. I was just like, "No, stop. You're just making it creepier. Stop escalating it."
But my question is like, because we saw, I think it was like the volume 4, the first episode of volume 4, we saw how the Grimm are born, like crawling out of those pits, and they're like just being born essentially, and they're just going in a certain direction, going into the world. My question is, how the hell did this thing get born? Like, was it a mixture of like a horse Grimm and then this thing, and it kind of fused itself? Because we've never seen anything like that until now.
Yeah, they've been introducing a lot of interesting new Grimm, like the Geist in chapter 1, um, the sea monster, which was pretty badass, if I have to say.
Yeah, that
Um,
was good. Good shit.
it was amazing. Um, but yeah, this one just kind of came out of nowhere, and it just kind of makes me wonder what other kind of Grimm are out there that
That
are,
Satan's cooking up in the background.
yeah,
Well, it was interesting because all the other bosses you brought up were not necessarily connected to a backstory, but this one was particularly connected because it killed both Ren's parents, and it's still there in that area, and it felt like it knew Ren or something. I don't.
yeah,
It was really bizarre, and they kept teasing it too till the finale. Like, come on, I just want to see it. Just give me one shot. Like they show the breathing of the horse, and then the head pops up all creepily and twinging, and then it just cuts away. I'm like, are you kidding me? No, I need to see more.
yeah. I got so much flack for my reaction to that because I just literally just screamed after they teased that in the penultimate episode, and everyone got so mad at me. Like, move that bitch away from the camera. She's crazy.
Well, it makes sense because that was the second time they teased that thing, and they still didn't show it. Like it was just, oh, we give you a shot here, we give you a shot there. But you know how creepy it looked. You didn't know what you're getting yourself into. Makes sense. Like what? Because it's the first time they've ever really teased a Grim before, I think.
Yeah. Before they've just been pretty outright about it, but this one,
I mean,
it was a really slow build up.
meaning the character 4 trailer or character no the volume 4 character trailer for RWBY, they showed the new introduction of that Gorilla Grim. Like
Yeah.
they didn't tease that. Just like, here you go, new Grim. Oh, okay, and that was it.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. So overall, what final thoughts for the volume 4 finale? I guess.
Um, I think it's a really good step in a direction in terms of story and just in terms of the characters themselves. Um, if I had to make one final remark, it'd be about Jean's sword
Yes.
because everything in this show is it's also a gun. Like that's the catchphrase for this show. But he's like, no, this sword is also a sword.
he evolved the sword like a Pokemon. He like
And Ruby's face when he did it was priceless.
what?
Like, where'd that come from?
My question is, why have you been holding out, man? Show us your evolved sword. Come on.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Um, I guess all I have to really say besides that, because that was pretty funny. I forgot about that till you brought it up. Like, oh yeah, his sword is also a sword. It's more of a sword than a sword. Yeah, it's a sword. Is the fact that I think they beautifully handled everyone's story in this final episode, because the previous ones, from what I remember, we haven't seen everybody's story being continued in any chapter until the last one. Like, some had 2 stories continuing, and some had 3, some had just 1. And it felt like in this one, okay, we're continuing everybody's story now, and we get to see everybody have screen time in this final episode before we're gone for a while. I thought it was beautifully done in that letter. I mean, it was emotional, had pulling your heartstrings, if you will.
Oh yeah.
Brutal stuff. But it made sense, because I mean, they went through a lot of bad stuff. So it makes sense. Let's not add more bad stuff. Let's just calmly, let's let her write a letter, read it out loud, and then show different things that kind of connect with what she's saying, and show Gang coming, like, going to find her, Weiss getting on that ship to get out of there, and showing Blake saying, we're taking back the White Fang. We're not going to destroy him. We're going to take him back, which is interesting.
Yeah, and she's finally opening up to other people, which is a really good thing.
Do you think her and Sun are going to get together? Like,
I ship it.
well, it makes sense because he followed her on the boat. Like, he just stalked her. Like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
It's interesting because we didn't see a lot of characters in Volume 4.
Yeah.
Some of them were gone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were disappointed not to see like any more of Team Sun, not to see Neo, or even more of Emerald and Mercury, because they were just basically on screen for like maybe 2 minutes of screen time.
They were sidelined pretty
Yeah.
bad. I will have to say, even though I don't 100% agree, I like the fact that they use Cinder only a little bit, because she's still recovering, and it makes sense that, well, if we show Cinder too much, she can't talk. She mouths her words, and she gets someone to translate for her. So unless she was able to start talking again, then I would say yes, give Cinder more screen time, because we want to see her build back up, because we know she's not going to win. She's not going to kill Ruby. That makes no sense. Like, why would you do that? Like, Cinder's the villain. She's supposed to lose. But I don't know. But I like how they use Salem. Very little, but powerful.
Oh yeah. She's such a strong villain character.
The voice of Cortana from Halo. Are you kidding me?
I know.
Like, what? You got the voice of Cortana, and Cortana's evil now, and now Salem's evil? Like, Jesus.
Like, that's my favorite part of watching other people's reactions to the last episode of Volume 3, is just that turnaround in the narration, where they realize, oh wait, she's not just this kindly narrator, she's the villain. She's been the villain since episode 1 of Volume 1.
It's all tied in. It was beautifully done. And I was like, what? But I do like the fact that they got her, and I think what was interesting is that people got the vibe, because I don't know if you played Gears of War, but when that narration was going over about the Grim at the end of Volume 3, it's like, this is getting like kind of a Locust Queen vibe, because the Locust Queen would like just like boom her voice all over and the Locust creatures, and she's the queen of them. It's just like, wow, this is just like the game. It's like, it's really creepy. Like, there's this one individual controlling everything, and that's what Salem is. She controls everything. And I think it's interesting how we got introduced to a bunch of new villains in this volume, but a lot of them didn't do a lot. Tyrion did the most, but the rest of them kind of just kind of being placed in different areas. I guess we'll get more of them in Volume 5, I guess.
Yeah, I'm expecting so.
Well, speaking of that, let's jump into it now. So, RWBY Volume 5 speculation. I guess I'll start off with how they ended Volume 4 on RWBY's side. So, do you think with them, I forget the character's name, the villain that was there at Lionheart's room.
Watts.
Watts. See, he is the most interesting to me because he has a mustache. That's what really drew me in. But his voice is really good too. I like his voice. And I don't know if you're a big Rooster Teeth fan, but he reminds me of Jeff Ramsey, not the voice, but the look. Like
I'm a huge Rooster Teeth fan.
that is Jeff Ramsey. Like that is Jeff Ramsey with a different
Yeah,
the
a
mustache.
sober Jeff Ramsey.
Oh my God, deep cuts, deep cuts. We're going sober. But yeah. So, do you think that that's going to have a big effect on them being at the new school now, where Watts is there, and they're probably going to have to fight him? I would think. I hope Watts is a fighter. I don't know.
Not only that, but I don't know if you caught it during the finale, but he said Salem always said you were a gracious host. So
Oh,
Lionheart,
oh shit! I missed.
Lionheart's been a villain the whole time.
But I was wondering, it would have been really cool if they would have shown Lionheart and he was actually one of the villains at the table, like he was Watts or the other guy, and we didn't know. Like we were being lied to about this character. Like, oh, but this whole time he's been a headmaster at a school the whole time. Like, what?
Yeah. But
We haven't seen.
anyway, they do it. They're like just walking into a trap and they don't know it.
Interesting. Yeah, but don't you think the school will rebel and fight back?
Yeah, I know that. I know with Volume 3 and all the characters they introduced, there are lots of people from Mistral that I would love to see show up and help fight in these upcoming volumes.
I think it will, because I think at a certain point, I mean, I don't think in Volume 5 specifically, but I think in Volume 6, 7, it's going to keep going, that eventually is going to be an all-out war. Like, everybody against the Grimm. It's not going to be just a faction here, everybody against Grimm. That's what I think is eventually going to happen, but interesting. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't remember if I caught that, because I saw the episode, like, the day it aired on YouTube. So, not YouTube, on the
Rooster Teeth.
That. I don't remember if I caught that line specifically, but it was interesting how they ended that. Like, what? Like, now Watts is going to start playing his game now? Like, why couldn't we have it before? But it makes sense, because you have to give him something to do. And we didn't see Lionheart's face either, so that was interesting. So
yeah.
We don't even know what he looks like. And watch it be somebody that we knew from, like, say he was from the previous school. It's like, oh, okay, but he's a bad guy. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
But Ozpin trusts him, apparently. So that's not good. It means Ozpin trusted a villain.
Yeah. They're all kind of screwed there.
Well, bad judgment, I guess, is what you'd say.
Yeah.
What do you think Weiss's story is going to be in Volume 5?
Oh, I really hope she does reunite with Winter. Just because I love Winter. She's a badass. And I think that she will, if not at first, eventually meet up with RWBY and join them. Because as she proved in this volume, she's ready to fight. She's ready to do whatever it takes to, save the day.
She's really grown as a huntress, I guess is the right way to say it, a huntress.
Yeah.
Because she summoned that humongous knight. Like, that was like crazy. I'm like, what?
Yeah, that was yeah.
Then she locked the door. like, gotcha. Like, I was smart. So I thought she was just gonna, like, stand there and confront them, but I'm like, oh, okay. No, she wants to escape, because if she was caught, then be a whole situation. We have to fight her way out, which I would have enjoyed, but I don't know. I guess they're saving all that, but yeah, I think she's gonna be back. Do you think her sister is going to disapprove with her leaving, or do you think she's gonna be like, no, I completely understand why you left, Dad?
Oh, I think Winter will understand. Whether or not she approves is a little different, because in Volume 3, she said she wanted Weiss to stay out and explore the world and learn more about herself. But at the same time, like, they're both aware that they need to, keep hold of the family name. And now that Weiss has lost that claim to it, I don't know how Winter will react to that.
This is a dumb question, because I can't remember. Where's Weiss's mother? Is she dead?
No, they mentioned her in episode 2. Whitley said that she was already drinking in the garden. So
Wonder
apparently,
what they ever showed her.
I don't know. I guess they just didn't deem it important enough. Um, I think it just says enough to say that their mother is um, a heavy drinker who doesn't like to get out into the public very often,
I
which
just, I just think it would
is,
have been interesting if her mother was there interacting with Weiss, because her dad was treating her badly. How would her mother treat her? Like, I guess it would have been interesting to see her and her mother's relationship.
yeah, it seems kind of like Yang in that she's kind of got like an absentee mother type of thing going on.
Everyone's got absentee mothers, except for Ruby. Ruby's mom's dead. Like, she gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, 'cause I made the mistake in a reaction because I was watching and I saw Yang's mom, and I immediately thought, "Oh, is that Ruby's mom?" Because like, she looks like Ruby. Like that's like it's like what? And I totally forgot. Oh yeah, Ruby's mom's dead. Yeah, but it was just so weird because Yang's mom looks exactly like Ruby, older with longer hair. It's weird. Like Yang's mother is like Ruby. It's weird. Um,
Yeah, that's why there's so much speculation that like Crow is Ruby's real dad.
oh, what?
You hadn't heard that?
No, because see the beauty of this is I don't hear a lot of these fan theories, like unless they're commented, and I've never seen that before. That Crow is actually Ruby's dad.
Yeah, it's a huge thing. I'm not sure if I believe it myself. I mean, it'd be one of those things if they did reveal, oh, hey, he's her dad. Like I wouldn't be that surprised, but I don't know.
So, so wait, so Crow and Ruby are related brother and sister, correct? Yes or
Yeah,
no?
Crow is Ravens. They're twins.
Okay, okay, they're twins. Okay, so are they saying that Ruby's mom is actually dead, but her dad isn't? Her dad isn't with the dad we know. It's actually Crow, like
Yeah.
that. Okay. Um, yeah, it would be interesting if the truth was if they revealed that it turns out Raven, that's her name, right?
Yeah.
Raven. She is actually the mother of Ruby because they look exactly alike. And I'm trying to think because we've never seen a really good picture of Ruby's mom. Like we've never really seen her. So
Yeah, we just have like her peeking out from under her hood in the photo of Team Stark.
I wonder if they're ever gonna like have a flashback showing her. Like
That would be really amazing if they did.
because we've never really seen we've seen I forget his name, but the character Bernie plays.
Tai Yang.
Yes, we've seen him train with Yang, but we've never really seen him out and about doing things. He's just been at home, which makes sense because he's not a hunter anymore. He's not really doing that anymore.
Yeah,
But
he's just a teacher.
yeah, just laid back, two daughters that are fucking crazy, going out there fighting the grim. Um, that's interesting. That is interesting that's the theory that Crow is Ruby's dad. Hmm. I mean, it would be a really cool reveal, but I would feel bad because Ruby believes that, oh, well, I thought this guy was my father the whole time, and it turns out it was all a lie. Uncle Crow is actually my dad. Like, it'd be a weird reveal.
Yeah. I don't know how she'd react.
Probably confused, just like everybody else. Like, what?
Yeah.
My head's spinning. So for Blake's storyline in Volume 5, do you think that she's going to infiltrate the White Fang, or do you think she's just going to start, like, taking it over from the outside and doing her sneaky stuff?
I think she's too well known among the White Fang right now to infiltrate. Because we've seen the other members of the White Fang in this volume, the two creepy guys in
Yeah, the guy with
the
the
menagerie.
yeah, their hands together and they're just like, "We're very sorry." Like, no, you're not. Like stop acting fake. They're liars.
And then like Sister Ilya, like they all know Blake, they all know who she is, and they're all working for Adam. So I don't think she could infiltrate it. I think it's gonna be an outside sort of thing. Maybe just like even if it's just like slowly recruiting Faunus over to their side.
That'd be really interesting to see them going out and recruiting and building up their side, and then have all out wars with White Fang versus, I guess, just Team Blake. It's like, hey, well, could Sun infiltrate and do some things? Do you think? Because is he that well known?
I don't think he's that well known. The main times he came in contact with the White Fang, it was when they were being led by Roman.
Yeah,
So I don't think that they have a good knowledge of him. He might be able to infiltrate, but I don't know how good he'd be at it.
he can go. It's Michael Jones too voicing it, so
Yeah, not the subtlest of people or characters.
which was so funny because when I was binge watching the show, it took me forever to finally figure out that it was Michael Jones voicing Sun. It took me so long to figure it out. But it's so weird because immediately, as soon as Bernie started talking, I knew it was Bernie. But Michael,
Yeah.
it took forever. I don't know why it took forever for Michael because he's not doing it. He's not doing a voice. It's just Michael talking. He's just like,
Yeah.
"Hey guys, what you doing?" It's nice to get some achievements. Um, but yeah, I think it'd be really cool to see. It would make some. It would have some good comedic moments if Sun infiltrated the White Fang and was trying to act all big, bad, and tough. Because that's not him at all. He's just he's a goofy guy.
Yeah. He's a great character, but not so smooth when it comes to everything.
Exactly. I mean, he's really uncomfortable around Blake for many reasons. Making her father always hate him. I really don't like him. Like every single time the dad has to say, "I really don't like you." Do you think they're going to play a big part in this, the mom and dad of Blake, or do you think they're going to kind of be sidelined? And because if they help out too much, because the White Fang know them a lot, so they can't really do a lot. If
Yeah, that is the question because her father was the previous leader of the White Fang, so it would kind of make sense for him to help her
oh, okay,
take over, but at the same time, they are really well known, and if she wants to take it back, she might have to be a bit more covert in the way she goes about it.
that'd
I
be
don't know.
interesting. Like the end game is that he takes over as the White Fang again, and like that's how they end, at least for that story. Her dad
Yeah,
back over, Blake can leave and go Team RWBY. Like
yeah,
that's my end game. It's just Team RWBY. Just
yeah. Got to get the girls back together.
gotta go fast. I don't know what that song is. So what else? Why is it? Do you think Yang is gonna take the whole entire volume to fight RWBY? Like it took her a whole volume to get back to fighting. Do you think it's gonna take her a whole volume to find her?
I don't think so. I mean, she got to the continent of Anima in one episode, so I think they could probably get her to Ruby pretty quickly. So I think Gang's gonna join up with them pretty fast.
Holy crap! I just had a thought just now. Have you seen Game of Thrones?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Holy crap! Holy crap! So you know, at the very beginning of Game of Thrones, they have everybody together. All the Starks are together, right? All the main characters, they're all in one area, and everything's happy hunky dory for the most part. Jon Snow is still being neglected a little bit, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, everybody's separated, right? And then we're following everybody's individual storyline. Some of them connect, some of them don't, and they're trying to find their way back to each other. It's just like Volume 4 RWBY. Everything before RWBY Volume 4, they were all together in one area. Now everyone's separated with all individual storylines. Some connect, some don't. They're trying to find their way back to each other. Holy crap! They're playing
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. The whole I'm surprised I didn't make that connection until now. But holy crap!
Yeah, I've always made like other analogies with RWBY, like with the Beacon arc especially, it really reminded me of Harry Potter.
Oh,
Especially with the fall of Beacon mimicking the Battle of Hogwarts. Um, but Yeah, I never made the Game of Thrones connection before. That's really interesting.
I don't know why it connected in my head when you were responding to my question. Like I was sitting there, like my face was like, oh, like what? Like that it was so random, but it hit me like because Game of Thrones it started off a certain way. Everyone's together, then everyone's separated for a long time, and no one's really back together yet. Yeah, we finally got Sansa and Jon Snow back together. Awesome, but we still have a ton of people not all back yet. In RWBY, it's just like everyone's together for a long time. The opposite of Game of Thrones, so they were together for a long time, and now they're all separated, all on separate ways, and they're going to slowly trickle back over time.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get kind of, I would think in Volume 5, a little reunion where Yang and Ruby and hopefully Weiss are all together again, and then Blake's gonna take a while for Blake to come back because unless she has to travel, because are the White Fangs centralized in her area, or does she have to go outside of her home to
They
go
did
trade?
they did mention that Adam was taking over the White Fang in Mistral, so she's going to the same place.
My God, they're setting up them all to come back together in Volume 5. Like they were just like pushing us fans around, like, oh, we're going to go in this direction. They keep pushing us in all these different directions. Oh, they're not going to come back together. And like, oh yeah, they kept dropping hints, like you just said. Yeah, well, they're all going to be in the same area. Like what? Like now all these storylines are going to intertwine together. Like, hey, I'll help you with the White Fang stuff. You help me with this whole Lionheart bull crap with Watts. Oh, okay, hey, cool. Hey, if you can help me with my dad not coming to steal me back again, that'd be great. All right, cool, whatever. It's going to be Team Ranger, Team RWBY. It's going to be insane. Like 20 people in a team. Team Ranger, RWBY, fighters against everything. Yeah, that's the team name.
Yeah, totally.
Jesus Christ. That's what they're setting up in Volume 5.
It's gonna be something. I'm looking forward to it.
I want them to do more episodes than just 12.
I know it's so hard to like have it for 4 months out of the year, just every weekend an episode, and then 8 months we have to wait for the next volume.
Well, we have RWBY Chibi.
We have RWBY Chibi, which I love to death.
I haven't seen it. Haven't seen it.
Haven't seen it?
I've heard great things. I've heard that it's not canon. That's what I've heard. It's just goofy stories, little mini arcs they do, just kind of having fun.
Yeah, and it's like basically Rooster Teeth just created their own therapy for the fans they emotionally scarred after Volume 3.
Oh my God. Yeah, I just never really thought about it because I heard that it wasn't canon. I'm like, whatever. But now it's like, I got nothing. Like after tomorrow, I got nothing until they start teasing with, trailers and stuff. Like,
and that won't probably be till like after RTX in like June or July. So
I can't handle this. I need it now.
It is excruciating, but a little less excruciating than last year.
Exactly. When is RWBY Chibi even start anyways? Is it like May or?
Yeah, it's May.
Oh, okay. Because I was wondering, like, I wonder what are they gonna like? What did they cover in RWBY Chibi, the first one? Like, did they cover like all of volumes 1 through 3, or did they just cover like storylines from the first volume, or what did they just kind of whatever?
It was just kind of little tidbits, like their life at Beacon, that type of thing. I don't know, just cute little skits, mostly centered around Beacon and just how they interact with each other.
Yeah, I heard that there's a lot of stuff, like you mentioned, that it's like their own therapy session for fans, that there's stuff they do in there that really teases the fans. It gets them all riled up because they've never done it in the show, but they'll do it here because it doesn't really count. Just like them having fun.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think ultimately Volume 5 is probably going to be. I hope that Volume 5 just has more Salem in it because I want more of her plan, because we really don't know her plan a lot. It's just more of her being menacing and telling people what to do. Um, and just, oh, she wants Ruby. For what? We know she's a silver-eyed legendary warrior, god status, but we don't know what Salem wants with her. Like, because Salem probably wants to harness that power for herself, I would think.
Yeah, like we all know what Cinder wants from Ruby, but Salem, it's a lot more ambiguous.
Cinder wants to do called a Pyrrha Part 2 on Ruby.
Yes.
Except probably not turn her to dust, but she wants to stab her. You took my voice, piece of crap.
And my eye.
Yes. Ah, my God. Yeah, and I'm curious to see what happens to Tyrion in Volume 5, because he came back basically crying. He lost his tail, or at least he lost the part that made it deadly. And I thought Salem was going to kill him. Like, I really thought for a second, holy crap, Salem's going to murder him because he didn't complete the task. But then she says something even worse. The worst thing you could say to somebody. Not that I'm pissed off or angry. I'm disappointed in you. Like, oh, Tyrion, dude, your mama just said she's disappointed in you.
Oh man, and then that rampage he went on against that Grim. Oh, that was like the scariest shit I've ever watched.
And then he was just like, he was laughing, like, too, when he was hitting it. Like, it was kind of Jokerish, kind of like the Joker.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Very bizarre. Yeah, I just hope that Volume 5, just in general, like, just, I guess, ups the ante, if you will, because a lot of the episodes, even though it was good character development, because we got a lot of interaction with characters and we get to see more of their backstory and a little bit of where they're at currently after the fall of Beacon, but I kind of want to see more stakes in Volume 5. What about you?
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I do believe like the character development was very necessary for where they're wanting to go with the story, but I would love to see more fights, more confrontations, more kind of old school Ruby in this next one.
Yeah, I like Team Ranger. I like the new team, but I'm always gonna have my love for Team RWBY. Like, because that's what really drew me into the show, is because their four personalities are so different. Yes, Ruby and Yang are sisters, but they're all so different, and it's what drew me into the show. And then I started loving all the other characters, but it was Team RWBY together, growing as a team, growing as characters, growing as friends, growing into a family, that really made me love the show. And it kind of hurt to see them fall apart at the end of Volume 3. And it's like, ouch. That kind of hurts. It's like, come on, put them back together. Come on. You know you want to. And apparently, we are. They are. They're doing it.
Yeah, they're working on.
So any more Volume 5 speculations you have for RWBY, Volume 5?
Not that I can think of at the moment. I mean, there's plenty of stuff that, like, I think could happen, but probably won't, just because of the writer's inclinations. Like, I just watched the RWBY panel from RTX Sydney.
Me too.
And Miles said that, like, we'd probably be seeing Neo again in some sort of fashion. And everyone is like loves Neo, so I don't know if I feel like they'd take a while with that, though, that it might be a couple volumes before we see her.
Interesting. Yeah, I think at this point they're just going to say whatever, because they said, please do not ask about, are we going to see this person again? Are we going to see this person? Like, because if they answer it like, oh yeah, we're going to see him again, like, well, that spoiler, all right, you ruined it, because now we know they're showing up again at some point. Because I like the fact that we just didn't know, because Volume 4 was so different, because we just didn't know what was going to happen, because we're not in Beacon anymore. Like, there's no time we're going to see.
It's like everyone was on unfamiliar ground, the characters and the fandom alike.
The fandom was in a tiffy. It's like, well, what are we going to do? What are we supposed to do? We don't know what's happening. Because you didn't know what to expect when you jumped into another episode of Volume 4, because you didn't know if you were going to get more of Weiss's story. You didn't know if you're going to get more Blake, or whatever. It was just random at times.
Yeah.
Which I guess it kept it on the edge of our seats. And interesting, they showed some stuff in the intro for Volume 4 that never actually happened in the show. Like we saw Ruby and Tyrion fight, but we didn't get to see his name's Adam, right? The White Fang
Yeah.
Adam. We didn't see him fight Blake, and they showed that in the intro.
Yeah.
Makes me think, did they create that intro before they fully realized what Volume 4 is going to be, or if they did that because they're teasing what's going to happen in the future past?
I feel
What?
like it's partly teasing what's going to happen in the future and partly just um her past kind of haunting her, just as Adam's kind of haunting Yang as well. Because Adam did a number on Blake, and
Yeah.
that's a lot of what she was grappling with this volume was that her friends get hurt because of her because of Adam.
Now, my question before we jump off into Guardians 2, my final question: who do you want to kill Adam, Blake or Yang?
Oh. um well, my romantic sensibilities want to say Sun, actually. But
Oh,
like I would love him to step in and be like, "You bastard." Um
hell,
but but I feel like it has to be Blake cuz he's the one that pretty much emotionally abused her for years and basically kind of ruined her life. So, I feel like it'd be poetic justice for Blake.
ooh, good way to say it. Poetic justice. I want Blake to stab him, and then Yang pops up with her metal arm and knocks his head off. It'd be brutal, but hey, it's Ruby. What do you expect? Okay, so I want to jump off into this. So you mentioned this, and I'm really excited for this too. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And first of all, I love the fact they're calling it Volume 2 and not just 2 or whatever, because it makes it different.
Yes, and it just calls back to the amazing soundtracks, the cassette tape, that
Yeah.
whole gimmick, which is what made me was well one of the many things that made me love the first one. Um,
Who was your favorite character from the first one?
uh, Drax, definitely Drax.
Interesting. I was expecting either Groot or Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah, I like them both. I have a little Groot pop vinyl.
Really?
Love my Groot, but I think I like Groot more as baby Groot as he is now. Um,
He's so adorable and evil looking when he gets
I
angry.
know it's so awesome.
Uh, I'm liking the trailer so far. I really am.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen the Super Bowl spot just because I've been so busy editing RWBY stuff for this week. Um, but yeah, that's like next up on my reaction list, and I've heard that it's really good.
You're gonna like it. It's really good. Like I was blown away by what they showed in it. Like, wow, okay. And it was really funny as usual.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, it was pretty awesome. And there's a really cool shot, and like, oh, this is awesome. And then something happens. It's really funny. But yeah, I think they're handling the marketing really well with this movie.
They
Like,
are.
it looks, and it's so weird because Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, looks so good. It was so beautiful with some of the shots they had in space. But this looks so much better. I don't know how they made it look better. Like, what? How could you make it look better than that one?
I don't know. And like the first movie, it just kind of came out of left field. It just came out of nowhere because we had the whole Avengers arc going on, and then suddenly, oh, Guardians of the Galaxy, we're putting this out. And like at first, because I'm not a real comic book fan. Um, it's not that I don't appreciate comic books. It's just not my favorite medium.
Yeah.
Um, so I never read comic books before. Um, and just coming into it just from a cinematic standpoint, it was just like, okay, where are they going with this? There's a talking tree and a machine gun wielding raccoon. And, and then I went and saw it, and it's like probably one of my favorite superhero movies now.
And
Because
it was shocking because when they announced, there's a video you can actually watch online. There's a video of them announcing at Comic-Con years ago, like their slate. Like they started filming Iron Man 3. They were in early production for Thor: The Dark World, and Captain America: The Winter Soldier was announced at this Comic-Con. And they also announced the Guardians of the Galaxy. And the video is from a fan's perspective in the audience recording it, and he shouldn't have been because I don't think he's allowed to. But
yeah,
he was shooting it, and you hear the fan reactions to Iron Man 3 is currently filming. Oh, yeah. Thor: The Dark World pre-production. What? Yeah. And then they announced The Winter Soldier, like, because they said, we're doing another Captain America movie, but we haven't announced the title until now. And they showed the title, The Winter Soldier. Holy shit, Bucky. Yes. And then they showed this production art of the 5 members of the Guardians of the Galaxy. And people were like, what? And then they said the Guardians of the Galaxy. And we were like, and half the audience was like screaming because they're actual fans and they know the source material. But the other half that were screaming for the other films were like, huh? And they were confused because when they showed the art piece, like, yeah, there's a giant tree. The artwork looked a lot different than what the actual product was. But there's a giant tree. There's a raccoon with a gun in his hand. There's a guy with a mask. There's a guy with like these weird designs on him, and then there's a green girl like the Hulk, but she's not She-Hulk. She's just a green girl. And people were confused, like, what? What is this? And it turns out to be one of the biggest hits Marvel's ever done. Like, yeah. That's the beauty of how they do these films, and the fact that they got a sequel, and the sequel looks even bigger and better with more characters. I'm blown away.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like when it first came out, like my dad was like trying to talk me into go seeing it with him, and I was like, it kind of looks stupid. And he was like, are you serious? What's wrong with you? And then after I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, what was wrong with me? This is like the best movie ever.
So you agree there are a lot of things wrong with you. Just
yes,
one less thing wrong with you.
Yeah.
Well, after I've learned from this podcast, there's not a lot wrong with you. You love RWBY, you love Marvel. What's not to love? You know, that's how I see it. But yeah, I love what they're showing. I like the fact that they've introduced Mantis into the movie. Like, her powers are so bizarre. Like, she touches Star-Lord, then she can read his minds. Like, you have love, like, no sexual love for her, and points at Gamora. I'm like, what? And then Drax was freaking out and laughing like a maniac.
Oh yeah.
Which brings back to the point, you love Drax. He's your favorite.
I love Drax. It's just
his comedic timing is so good.
Yeah, and it's like I swear, I'm an English major and I cannot come up with the words at the right time. Culture shock. It's just like he's just from such a different culture that everything is just strange and unfamiliar to him, and that just makes the comedy so much better.
Yeah, I mean, because it's so out of left field, as the kids say, because it's just so random. Because we have Rock Raccoon, who's fast with the quips. We have Groot, says "I am Groot," and the way he says it, it's funny. Then we have Star-Lord, who's kind of quippy as well, and Gamora is just kind of deadpan. Like, she has no, but then when she does say stuff, it's kind of like Drax, because she's like, I was like, well, it's just like Kevin Bacon in the first movie. Like, what?
We're like Kevin Bacon.
We're like Kevin Bacon, and it cuts away, like immediately cuts away from that shot. Like, what? And then they're like, oh. But Drax is just like that too, because when you see Drax, you don't expect him to be funny. You expect him to be a hard ass.
Yeah, he's like this big menacing guy in the prison, and then he just.
And then Star-Lord does that whole throat, the neck cut throat signature move, the finger across the throat. He's like, why do I want to touch his throat? Like, like what? No, it's not what I meant. I don't understand what you mean. And we're back. So there was a cut there, as you probably noticed. Like, what happened. Her computer, as she say, flicked out or flickered, whatever. But it's okay. So we were talking about Drax. The fact that he's so damn funny. And how could they make Groot even cuter than he was in the first one?
I don't know because I mean, even in the first one, even just as this big hulking tree monster, like that just says, I am Groot. I am Groot. It's adorable. And now that he's tiny and
And he
has
says,
his own
Groot,
little red leather suit and is like
a little I
little,
am Groot baby. I
yeah,
am.
little twig ball of fury.
And I'm glad they did that because they kind of tease it at the end when he's dancing and Drax is sitting there and he's like dancing in the pot and he has to freeze. When Drax looks at him, like, okay, thank God they're not like bringing him, like making him bigger, like keep him small. Like, what if Baby Groot's actually a thing in the comics?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't know. You're not a comic fan.
Yeah.
You're not a real Marvel fan because you don't like the comics, sir. That's like I'm looking it up right now. Does Baby Groot actually exist in the comics? I would think so. No, everything popping up is about apparently there's an article. Groot wasn't always going to stay a baby in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know. Maybe if I'll dig deeper later. But the fact that they just did it is amazing.
Yeah.
What is that noise?
My Chihuahua is shaking his collar.
I would have thought for a second that it was going to be a cat, but the fact that it's a dog is different. Interesting. Not
Yeah,
saying I'm not saying you're a crazy cat lady. I don't know why. I just assume because the jingle bell, I'm thinking, oh, it's a cat because you want to know where the cat is at all times. There's a little bell on it.
well, this one, he acts like a cat. I named him Toulouse after one of the cats in the Disney movie Aristocats.
Oh my God! Oh, okay. We're going off. Again, we have to discuss this. Aristocats. That's such a great movie.
It is, and my dog is just like his namesake. Because Toulouse is the little orange tough one who like thinks he's so big and tough, but he's just like a little ball of fur, and that is my dog.
I don't know why, but I fell in love with that movie when I was little because the favorite part was the drunk Uncle Goose that shows up in the middle.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like what? It was so random. They're trying to keep him under control. And then the one song, "Everybody Wants to Be a Cat," was so catchy when all the cats were playing it.
Yeah. Mm.
Good movie. Oh, anyway,
Movie.
so Guardians. The fact that they're expanding the team is a good thing, I think, because I personally feel if it was the same team, I would still love it, but I think them expanding it and introducing more characters to the Guardians of the Galaxy makes sense. Because they gotta go on a bigger adventure than the first one.
Yeah, and just all of Marvel is expanding at such a crazy rate that you'd have to expect Guardians to do the same.
Yeah, and I like the fact that Guardians is like, besides the Avengers, Guardians is the other team up type of franchise they have. Like, it's not just one individual character's film with maybe a character from another film. Like, it's not like Captain America with Black Widow and Falcon. No, it's Guardians of the Galaxy with a ton of characters, and it's like Avengers miniaturized. Like, it's just like a small little thing. But yeah, I'm really liking what they're doing with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I like the fact that they kept the core team, but they're introducing more characters. And the fact that they're all going to be basically in Avengers Infinity War. Like,
There are so many characters they've announced that are going to be in Infinity War. I have no idea how they're going to do it.
I mean, now that we're on to it, I mean, we might as well discuss it. The fact that, holy crap, it's at least 100 characters in the two films. Like,
yeah, like someone made a count and I can't remember the number, but it was ridiculous.
But the thing was, people were counting before they started filming, people were counting just the characters that were not Guardians of the Galaxy characters. Like they were saying, okay, well, we're gonna have everybody from the other films. So Guardians of the Galaxy, because James Gunn, the director, said, oh, they're not gonna be in Avengers Infinity War. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. Duh. Of course they are.
Yeah.
I mean, our first real introduction to Thanos was in Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. Like,
Yeah.
he was there. Like, so of course he's gonna be in the freaking movie. Or they're gonna be in the film. But now they include all them, and then like now they're bringing back Betty Ross from the Incredible Hulk 2008. Like they're bringing her in.
Yeah, I saw that.
Apparently Spider-Man is confirmed because Tom Holland is in Atlanta right now, and he was spotted on what they call Instagram story. I don't know what that really is. I guess it's just like Snapchat story, just a copy.
Yeah.
But apparently in Tom Holland's Instagram story, he's wearing the Avengers Infinity War beanie. Like he's wearing the logo that everyone else has been wearing, these beanies that have Avengers Infinity War on it, the logo.
Oh yeah.
He's wearing it too. So like I guess everyone who's in the freaking movie is just getting a beanie to wear. Remote. It's weird.
The Infinity Club.
I want one. I want an Infinity Club beanie now. And apparently there was discussion about how the actor who plays Thanos, Josh Brolin, was discussing how he had a scene with Chris Pratt, who plays Star-Lord, and I think he also said he was also in a scene with Star-Lord and Drax for Infinity War. So it's just like everything's happening at once. They're all there. They're filming both films back to back.
Yeah.
Like, that's the insane part.
It's like it could turn out to be a huge jumbled mess, but at the same time, I feel like it's just going to be so spectacular. We won't know what to do with ourselves.
Do you think these films are going to break records, box office wise? Because these are going to be the biggest films ever made, I think, in terms of cast.
If I had to guess, I'd say yeah, probably. Like, I mean, the last time we saw it's like such a huge gathering of superheroes, like for the first time, like with Avengers, that broke crazy box office records.
107 million opening weekend.
Yeah, it was incredible. And now that they've got not only the Avengers, but all the other Avengers that have been added, all the other side characters, the Guardians of the Galaxy, all of these amazing actors in these two films, it's going to be insane.
I don't know how they're going to do it.
I don't know.
Like they're not going to be able to give everyone equal amount of screen time.
Yeah, and I know a lot of fans complained about Civil War because like there were so many characters and you couldn't give them all like the equal amount of time they deserved. But Infinity War is like so much bigger than that. So just makes you wonder.
Yeah, because if you want to complain about Civil War, you're definitely going to complain about Infinity War because it's going to be literally 60, 70 characters per film. And I do believe that some characters won't appear in the first film, but they'll appear in the second film.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. They'll appear in the first, but not in the second. Maybe due to deaths or the fact that their character doesn't serve a purpose in the second film. But I mean, I still don't know how they're going to. I want to know what the script looks like. Like, is it to where there's like one scene where 20 characters in a room talk to each other? Like, and they're all important characters. Like, are we gonna have a scene where the original Avengers core team, the Guardians of the Galaxy, and then maybe have like I don't know, the Wasp, who isn't an Avenger, but she's with Ant-Man, is there, and then we also have trying to think who else. We have what's her name? Maria Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, her, and just the list keeps going, all in a room, and they're discussing how they're going to fight this Thanos character. And like you're gonna give all those character dialogue moments in that scene. That's gonna be insane. Like just jumping back and forth, back and forth, back to back to back to back to back. Like, what if you do this? What if you do this? What if you do that? Like, it's just gonna be insane. But at the same time, seeing all these characters together fighting Thanos is gonna be amazing.
Yeah, there's no question that it's going to be amazing. It's just how are they going to do it? That's the big question.
Do you think the Defenders are gonna make it a cameo appearance?
Oh, I think it would be cool, but I don't know. They've been like really specific about keeping Marvel TV shows like separate from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which I think is total crap because I totally consider like Agents of Shield perfectly canon.
Even though it's all connected, and they just
Yeah.
well, they mentioned that this is going to be affecting the world, and people were saying it'd be really cool if we had like a maybe a 2-minute scene in the second film where everything's going down, like everything, everybody's fighting, everybody's in this battle, and we're in New York City, and we have like a 2-minute scene showing the Defenders fighting together against these whatever beings that they're having to fight.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool.
A cool little cameo to tie them in, because if you don't show the Defenders, then that means that, well, we just didn't have the time. No, you just didn't want them to be involved because they're in the TV. It's just like they're defending New York. Like, you show them. Like, yeah, you have the Avengers Tower, but you have to show whatever they're having to fight, because you have to have something for all these characters to fight.
Yeah.
You can't have 60 characters fighting Thanos at once. I guess you could, but it would look really dumb.
It'd be very odd.
Yeah, so have Thanos bring over some kind of the scrolls or whatever. Bring these aliens over and just show everybody taking turns fighting Thanos and then fighting these creatures and defending the entire planet, and then show the Defenders doing a little something.
Yeah, because they're like pretty much the little guardians of New York. Like I know they're the Avengers and Spider-Man too, but I mean they're basically there to like clean up all the messes that the Avengers kind of leave in their wake.
I mean, yeah, and just Luke Cage is a powerhouse himself. I mean, you know, he can just run through all whatever he has to fight. He's just so powerful. So can Jessica Jones.
Oh yeah, Jessica Jones is badass.
And then just seeing Daredevil fight a couple aliens, Batman style, I have no problem with that.
Oh yeah.
He's a vigilante. That's what he's blind Batman. That's what he is. Who do you think's gonna die? If you had a guess for Infinity War, either part 1 or part 2, doesn't matter.
Oh, I don't know. There's the first character I think of that I think like either has to die would be Vision.
Oh yeah, because the Infinity Stone.
He has the Infinity Stone in his head. It's part of who he is. So take that away because it has to go in the Infinity Gauntlet. Take that away. Would he be able to live without it? That's the question.
I don't think he'd have his powers.
Yeah, he wouldn't have his powers, but would it take away his life force as well? That's a big question.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have guessed that he's going to die, but I think it's too obvious if they kill him because they removed the stone, because everyone's guessing that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So maybe he just can't use his powers, but he's still alive. I don't know. Maybe he could turn back into becoming the AI for Stark. Maybe. I mean, that's what he was before. I mean,
yeah,
he was a good AI before he became a god who can fly through Giant Man in Civil War. Just float through him. That was a good scene. But yeah, if I had to pick one besides him, I would have to say, I'm sorry, Hawkeye, there's no way he can survive this. Like, he's got a bow and arrow. Like, what is he going to do? I'm sorry. What is he going to do?
Oh, I have this fight with my dad all the time.
Uh-oh. Wait. Okay, what side are you on and what side is your dad on?
I like Hawkeye. I think he's a good character. I think that he can hold his own.
Oh,
My
okay.
dad thinks Hawkeye is just, cannon fodder.
I think he did good in the first Avengers because he was brainwashed and he did fight Black Widow, which was cool. Um, I just feel like at a point, it's going to be to the point where he just can't survive it. Like I don't want anybody to die, but people have to die because Phase 4 we're assuming Phase 4 after these movies in Phase 3 are going to be completely different with a lot of different new characters.
Yeah.
So you can't have all these characters around still, right? I guess you could. You just can't. You just don't see them. Makes no sense.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, it would suck, but I mean, that's my go-to. But at the same time, I mean, I could see them killing off Tony Stark, Iron Man, even though that'd be kind of brutal to kill off your main guy. But I
Yeah,
mean,
I can also see that happening.
he's been in a lot. He's been in most of the movies anyway.
Yeah.
So you take him out, and then you can have someone take up the mantle. You can do that.
Yeah.
What about Captain America? Do you see that or no?
Oh no, I think
Oh,
he's gonna survive.
oh no, no, I'm not Captain America. No. I'm trying to think is I guess I don't see them killing off any brand new characters that are recently going to be introduced in Phase 3 because I think that's too soon.
Yeah.
But then again, they killed off Quicksilver in the same movie he was introduced in.
Yeah. That was
I think the main reason why they did that is because number one, they wanted to show that the stakes are high and people can die, and number two, they had a whole issue with the rights because of X-Men and Fox and the fact that they were doing their own Quicksilver, and I think it'd be too confusing if we had two Quicksilvers going on at the same time constantly.
yeah,
Um,
and I also heard that they had some trouble with the actor not wanting to do any more films other than that one.
that would
Um
be interesting because I've also heard other reports of him discussing that he could still come back or he'd be up for returning. Like maybe that's just him talking, but maybe the studio feels differently. I
yeah,
don't.
maybe, I don't know.
Hmm. I don't know, but yeah, yeah. I just don't see them killing off anybody new they introduced because it would cut off a lot of story they could do with those characters. But my question is, what do you do after Infinity War? Like, what is the next big Avenger team up film? Like, why are they teaming up? What's the big bad? Because Thanos is Endgame. Like,
Yeah, like I can't think of a bigger end game than this because they're like bringing every character they've ever introduced in the Marvel Cinematic Universe into these two movies. Um, like, what do you do after that? Like anything after that's just going to be pale in comparison, unless it's just like, out of left field, like Guardians of the Galaxy.
well, my theory, even though they can't use the character because Fox owns the rights, is Galactus. Because
Gla-
Galactus is like he could grow himself to any size he wants. He could be bigger than the planet Earth if he wanted to.
Hmm.
Uh, and they could do that, but they can't because Fox owns the rights, which sucks. Stupid copyright. But I think there's like a talks of them just not rebooting after Phase 3, but them going back to more simpler like stories for the Avenger films because like you were mentioning, I mean, I agree. Like I don't know what else they could do in terms of going. They can't go any bigger than this.
Yeah. I feel like kind of just going back to the the small stories, the individual films like in phase 1 and 2, it it'd probably be good for them because like I feel like trying to do too much after Infinity War would just, tank the MCU.
And it just shows that they're desperate to keep upping the ante if they kept pushing to do bigger things. Like I don't know if they're going to go into space to fight Thanos. I'm assuming that Thanos is going to be showing up at Earth, but I just don't know what else they could do. Yeah, they could send the Avengers into space, but what's what's a bigger bad than Thanos? Like I got no answer that they could do realistically, but I don't know. They could do Marvel Zombies. Ooh, that's an actual comic book line where all the Marvel characters turn into zombies.
That would be nuts.
I think that'd be the end of the MCU, though. You'd have to reboot after that. Like, you can't
Yeah.
do Marvel Zombies and kill off all these characters and then just go, okay, everything's good now. We're gonna go back to the stories. No, you can't. You killed off like 3/4 of your characters. Like, you're done after that. But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm glad they're filming, and I've been keeping up with updates on the film, and it's just like every day, it's like someone new. This actor's going to Atlanta, and they teased they're going to be shooting Infinity War. I'm like, Jesus Christ, how many more people are they going to get?
I know.
See that weird wow, holy crap, what happened there? Whoa! I don't know what just happened. My body was like, oh, what are you doing? But it's been cool to see different combinations of people and scenes. Like, I want to see Tony Stark and Rocket Raccoon in a scene together.
Oh my gosh, that would be like that would be an insane like battle of the egos.
Yeah, who's gonna win that argument? Like, who's gonna Stark or Rocket Raccoon? And then Groot's gonna be there. I am Groot. I am Groot. Like, I hope he's big again, because I don't want to see Baby Groot in Infinity War. That'd be too cruel for Baby Groot.
Yeah, I feel that he'll grow by Infinity War.
Let's hope. Because, like, come on. I want to see Spider-Man interact with, like, the Hulk, because that's not happened yet.
Yeah.
Or Thor interact with Spider-Man. Like, I wonder how Hulk's gonna like interact with Spider-Man, because Spider-Man is just like this little guy that can like just. And also, Ant-Man hasn't seen the Hulk either. Holy crap!
Yeah.
So many combinations of. And I think they're gonna do that too. I think they're gonna write specific scenes for characters you never thought would interact with this other character. They're gonna put them together in a scene. Like, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I know. I'm already just like floored thinking about Thor Ragnarok, when they're gonna have uh Thor, Loki, the Hulk, and Doctor Strange all working together. Like,
that's gonna be amazing.
It's gonna be incredible.
Like, I wonder how Doctor Strange is gonna interact with Hulk. Like he's gonna be so confused. Like, what? Like, gamma radiation. Now you're like you're a giant monster. I don't know how to. I know how to bend space and time, and I can travel to Dormammu and make a bargain with him. But I have nothing for you, sir. I got nothing for you. God, yeah. Thor Ragnarok's gonna be crazy too, and I think that's gonna set up Infinity War in a good way, because I think they're gonna do a lot of teasing for Infinity War.
Yeah, they've got to. Because they've said that I read something that said that Guardians of the Galaxy 2 like was gonna try and stay away from Infinity War teasing.
Yeah.
So Thor's gotta kind of pick up the pace there.
Yeah, I think it would work for that, because they've already did their introduction for Thanos in the first Guardians, so stay away from Guardians 2, let them deal with other stuff, and then have Thor, because apparently there's only going to be about 3 scenes from Thor Ragnarok that's going to take place on Earth. Everything else is off Earth. They're going to be somewhere else. So that tells me Doctor Strange is either going to be only in those Earth scenes, or he's going to be traveling with them to other planets.
I feel like he could travel with them. Or at least I would love to see it.
I mean, if he's in the middle of, I forget what city he was in at the end of the Doctor Strange, but if he could travel from that city to where Dormammu is in that area, and like, just like, yeah, I'm gonna fly up there. That's what he does.
Yeah.
I have a bargain. I come to bargain. It's like, there's so many memes with that too.
Oh yeah.
There's one where Dormammu is a cat and Doctor Strange is also a cat. He says, Dormammu, I've come to bargain. So stupid. And I laughed.
You gotta love the internet.
Oh, yes. And then I saw one where it was Tom Holland's head Spider-Man, and Dormammu's head was replaced with Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios. It's just, Kevin Feige, I've come to bargain with my contract to be in Infinity War. Like, it extended, but it was still like, I've come to bargain to be in this movie. Oh
my gosh.
But I think Doctor Strange being introduced right before Infinity War makes sense because we're dealing with an actual Titan god alien creature, and we're having a guy who can bend space and time on their side.
Yeah.
And I mean, what really Doctor Strange did was open up way more possibilities than ever.
Yeah, I feel like that was kind of the movie's main purpose in the MCU, was to kind of like breach that gap between like, humanity and the rest of space and time.
Yeah, because now we can travel to different Earths, kind of like what DC does with their multiple Earths. We can have an Earth where Tony Stark never became Iron Man. We could go there. I mean, he can bend time and reality too. So I wonder could he alter the events of Infinity War in the first film if all the things go wrong? Like say everybody dies in part one. Doctor Strange somehow brings them all back because they failed. And he's able to bring them back through his powers, and he's able to teach them what they did wrong, and they could do it again. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, they've like, I don't know. It's such a crazy possibility that they've opened up.
Yeah, because he went from his training to like that top of that mountain like nothing, or well, at least the ancient one did. So
Yeah.
he could just travel them to somewhere else if they're failing the mission of defeating Thanos. I don't know. There's so many possibilities, I think, at this point. Because, I mean, I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that there's going to be scenes where we're going to see all these characters fighting. And the camera is just going to be going all over the place, shaking around, trying to follow everybody. Like, we can't keep up with everybody. Jesus Christ. There's too many people. So much CGI going on right now. It's going to hurt our brains. So any final thoughts for Infinity War before we wrap this thing up?
Nothing other than I am just stoked for it.
Good
I,
words.
I can't wait.
It's gonna be the hype train is coming.
Oh yeah, all aboard the hype train.
All it's like all aboard the hype train for RWBY and Aristocats and Marvel and Jesus. Well, there you have it, guys. That is the Reactors League podcast, episode 5. Thank you, Laurel, for coming and hanging out.
No problem.
Chatting. We will see you guys later. I'll talk to you guys later. She'll talk to you guys later. Whatever. We're done. Bye-bye.
Bye.